Spending like Will Smith. In this video, we'll be looking at the most insane things that Will Smith has bought with his money. Worth a combined $320 million, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith are a huge power couple to contend with. Not to mention their three kids, Trey, Will's son with his first wife, Jaden, and Willow. Spanning the entertainment spectrum from acting to music, the Smith family seems truly unstoppable. Even though it takes an incredible amount of hard work to get where the Smiths are at, it probably takes even more to maintain it all. So, it's hard to imagine they'd have time to really bask in the glory. Be sure to stick to the end, as the $20 million purchase will shock you to the core. If you want to be wealthy yourself, just click subscribe and bell notification so you don't miss any new content. Mansion. One of the Smiths family's most braggadocious assets is their home, which had an asking price of $42 million back in 2014 when they briefly put it on the market. Nestled in the mountains of Calabasas, California, the house is so big it literally has its own zip code. Will and Jada opened up their home to the Architectural Digest back in 2011, showing the world just how large they'd been living. The Adobe-style mansion, which is really a 150-acre compound, includes a movie theater, recording studio, and its own lake. Yet, nothing beats Roots drummer Questlove's glowing description of the house. Probably the most outrageous thing he shared was that, after taking an eternity just to get from the Jurassic Park gates to the front door, he said he actually passed 3 city blocks with 15 brownstone per block. Perhaps then, this helps explain the term compound and the dedicated zip code. Yes, a real neighborhood, said Questlove. Was told they fly family out there for reunions and stuff. Makes it easier. Oh, that, and the floor is made of butter leather. Of course, they also own other side homes. One was in Hawaii, which they sold in 2011 for $20 million. Jaden also moved into the family's $4 million mansion in Hidden Hills, California, a gated community that is also home to Kylie Jenner. Luxurious vacations. Fans of the Smith family got a treat in 2019 when both Will and Jada shared tons of their European vacation pictures on social media. As usual, they looked the absolute perfect family, but it was hard to not just be a teensy bit jealous too. Not only did they travel to Europe, but they chartered a yacht to sail around Greece and Italy once they got there, giving new meaning to the phrase, go big or go home. The yacht, named Mischief, was said to come with its own spa pool, sun deck, onboard jet skis, and staff of 13. This isn't the first time the Smiths have enjoyed time on a yacht, by the way. Will also partied on a yacht on a solo trip to Ibiza in 2014. While chartering a yacht isn't cheap, reportedly, it can cost as much as $500,000 a week. It still beats actually buying one, however, which can cost upwards of $100 million. Private jets. While there's no evidence the family owns a private jet, it definitely seems like they like to fly in style, at least once in a while. On a trip from Dublin to Manchester in 2011, reports say the Smiths opted to charter a private jet for the 50-minute flight simply because the airline only had economy seats left on the commercial flight they had booked. Jada tweeted an adorable picture of Will and Willow, which some reports claimed was taken on the private jet. Others questioned their consideration for the original airline staff, who had already made extensive plans to usher them through arrivals once they got to Manchester. Since then, the Smiths have continued to show interest in private jets. Will, along with Ashton Kutcher and others, later invested in Blackjet, a company that planned to be the Uber for private jets. Unfortunately, the company went under in 2016. Nowadays, though, it seems that the family has gotten comfortable in commercials. Jaden was spotted carrying his own luggage at LAX in 2018, and Jada was photographed walking through international arrivals in the Melbourne airport wearing a tracksuit. Basketball team ownership. In 2011, Will, who is West Philadelphia born and raised, and Jada bought a minority ownership in the Philadelphia 76ers. To get the deal done, they teamed up with an investor group led by billionaire Joshua Harris. Will later gushed about it on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Listen, there is nothing like in all of entertainment than to walk into the building when it's announced that you're a part owner of your hometown basketball team. Like, that is ridiculous. I mean, if the team doesn't win, it sucks later. But that first initial, it's like fantastic. He said that it did take some getting used to though, considering that the team was basically a bunch of kids and that 9 of them weren't born when the Fresh Prince came on. To them, said Will, I'm just like the old dude from the Suicide Squad. Philly fans were undoubtedly even more thrilled to hear that Will and Jada became majority owners according to reports in 2016, but were quickly set straight when the information turned out to be nothing but an April Fool's Day prank. The couple still only claimed minority ownership of the team. Expensive clothes. Considering how much the Smiths are worth, nobody expects them to be shopping for clothes at Target. But at the same time, the price tag on some of their everyday wear is enough to give anyone pause. Back in 2013, Fashion Bomb Daily tracked down the origin of Will and Jada's shoes in one paparazzi photo, revealing that Jada was wearing a $638 pair of Reed Krakoff cut-off sandals, and Will was wearing a $950 pair of Lanvin iridescent high-top sneakers. In an interview with Teen Vogue when she was just 13, Willow Smith already seemed to have caught the fashion bug also, mentioning that her own favorite pair of high heels were a gift from Karl Lagerfeld, who also swooned over her mom's Justin Clos bracelet, saying it was sick, and said that her whole family loves Cartier. Undoubtedly, the Smiths need extra space to house their wardrobes and accessories, judging by the humongous dream closet that Will and Jada had built into their home. Motorhome. If you thought their house seemed extravagant, then you definitely want to take a look at Will's personal movie trailer. Called The Heat, it's worth more than a lot of people's actual homes at $2.5 million. At 1,200 square feet on 22 wheels, this pimped out RV was Will's home away from home while he filmed movies such as Men in Black 3, The Pursuit of Happiness, and Ali. In case you're not convinced that a trailer can be this exciting, here's a quick breakdown. It's a double-decker motorhome with $100,000 to $200,000 worth of granite countertops, a $25,000 bathroom, and a 30-person screening room on the upper level. All said and done, it has $30,000 worth of leather and $100,000 to $125,000 worth of technology in it. And the entire upstairs will either raise or collapse at the touch of a button. How's that for living the high life? Expensive cars. While most of us probably remember getting our parents' old beat-up car when we first got our driver's license, or let's be honest, no car, Willow apparently got a brand new Porsche Cayenne Turbo when she turned 16 in 2017. In case you haven't been shopping for luxury cars lately, that car was worth about $120,000 when it was purchased. Not too shabby for a sweet 16 present. Photos show that the car was painted an edgy matte black. One of her brothers, Jaden, also has been seen around his neighborhood in Hidden Hills, California, driving a Tesla Model X, which is said to be worth upwards of $85,000. Interestingly, Will and Jada themselves don't seem to flaunt their cars as much as their kids do, although rumor has it that Will does have a car collection that includes luxury and classic models such as Maybach, Escalator, Navigator, Bentley, and Mustang. Smith owns or has owned several different SUV models, including a Cadillac Escalade, a Mercedes-Benz GL40, and a Lincoln Navigator. These vehicles may be more about style than tough off-roading, but they are a safe option for family man Will, and much safer than the motorbikes his wife loves to ride. Owning a convertible is almost mandatory in California, where the weather is warm and sunny all year round, and Will has opted for a model at that luxury end of the spectrum, the Bentley Azure. He also owned a 1998 Bentley Continental T Coupe, which was sold at auction in 2015 to raise money for charity. That's all for today's video. If you stayed till the end, subscribe and leave a comment. Your comment will get a heart. Don't believe me? You should try it for yourself.